I'm Dave Dunham from Mass Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. I'm Deputy Director for the Access Technology Program, and I'm going to demonstrate a couple of access technology features that are available that we train people in. We also train people on various Mac and Windows computers, as well as the Apple iPhone, the Apple iPad, the Apple Watch, all of which have some features for the blind and visually impaired that can be useful. So I have my iPhone here, which I'm sure some of you have seen or may have one. How many people have an iPhone? Yeah. I apologize, I don't see well, I'm legally blind.
Somebody raise their hands.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, so what's built into the operating system of the iPhone, let's turn the volume up here, is the something called VoiceOver. So I'm on the home screen of the iPhone, and I just take one finger and I tap somewhere, and it tells me what app I selected. It said Wallet, double tap to open. If I want to move along to read something on, in this case, this would be the home screen, I swipe to the right.
Supervision Plus, Calculator, Google.
And I'm just flicking to
Double
the
tap
right.
News.
And if I want to go
Double tap to
backwards, I flick to the left.
Uber, Bart Mobile, Google, Uber. Double
Oops.
tap to open.
I also made a mistake there. How do I know that? Because it went back to Uber. Of course, I'm doing this backwards and showing you. So those are called voiceover gestures, and the operating system feature is called VoiceOver. It's been part of the Apple iPhone for about 12 years now, and it's evolved over time. And it works also with Siri. So I'm sure if you have an Apple phone, you use Siri, most of you, correct? So Siri actually is an AI feature, although it isn't called that, but that's how they market technology nowadays. They've gotten into the term artificial intelligence, which actually was started in the 1980s. It's not something new. It's just a new way of marketing it. So if I want to open an app,
Supervision Plus,
let's go to,
Calculator. Double tap to open.
so I'm going to open the calculator. It's one, I just take one finger and I double tap quickly. And it opens the
Calculator, list,
calculator.
button.
How do you turn on this feature?
I have my phone set with an accessibility shortcut, so I can hit the home button 3 times. If you on your iPhone, if you hit the home button once, it goes to the home screen. If you hit it twice, it goes to the app switcher. And then I've set mine so that if you hit it 3 times, it turns VoiceOver on and off. So.
But it's in the settings,
VoiceOver off.
in the accessibility settings, that's where you
Okay.
can find it.
Yeah.
It's called VoiceOver. And right now it's probably turned off by default, but if you do turn them on, then you have access to the features.
Yeah, it's nice to have it under the shortcut because there are times you may want to turn it off or turn it on at your command.
And you can use
Yeah.
Siri for that too, right? To turn it on?
Yeah, and you can use Siri to turn it on and off as well. But that's a little
VoiceOver
more
on,
aggravating
calculator,
because then you have
list,
to ask
button.
them. So I had just turned it off and then back on with the 3 clicks on the home button. So yes, if I go VoiceOver off,
Okay, voiceover is now off.
so VoiceOver's off. I still have mine set on the old style where you press the home button. I don't have Hey Siri turned on my phone because I get tired of turning everybody
Sorry,
else's phone
I don't
on.
understand.
See? That's why you don't like Hey Siri, because it'll turn things on all by itself. So, and other people's devices, and since I'm training people in this all the time, and we'll have multiple iPhones sitting on a table, when people start using Hey Siri, obviously they're gonna be training other people's devices or activating it. So I'm gonna turn voiceover back on
Messages.
with my 3 clicks on the
Double
home
tap to
button.
open. Uber.
I'm
Double
gonna
tap to open.
open Uber, how about that?
Selected. Uber. Rides. 1 of 2. Button.
So, anybody use Uber?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to find a ride. So keep in mind, I can't really read anything on this app, so it makes it possible for me to use the app.
Selected. Eats. 2 of 2. Button.
So I don't want Eats, I want,
Selected. Rides. 1 of 2.
so
Button.
I went too far to the right, so I swiped once back, found rides, double tap on that. And,
Eats. 2 of 2. Button.
okay,
See all suggestions. Selected. Rides. 1 of 2. Button.
okay.
Where to?
Where
Button.
to? I'm looking for where
Opens
to,
destination
found
search.
it. I could just drag my finger and it doesn't activate anything until I double tap. So that's why it's designed for the blind and visually impaired. You're able to drag and find things. Whereas when you use without voiceover, you touch that, it's gonna activate whatever you touch. So I'm on where to, that's the last thing I selected, I'm gonna double tap.
Destination. Search field. Is editing. Where to? Character mode. Insertion point
Okay.
and start.
So I'm gonna,
Use the rotor to access misspelled words.
okay, the rotor is another feature that some of you may know about, but it becomes more handy with voiceover because we can edit things. We can switch it to character mode, word mode, etc., and we can edit text on our phone that way. But anyway, I'm just selecting locations.
Add multiple stops. 799 W. Boylston Street, Worcester, MA. Button.
So that's my office. So I'm gonna double tap on that.
799 W. Boylston Street. Ride options sheet. Button. Business rides and policy. Choose a ride. Button. Heading.
Choose a ride.
Double. Business comfort. Fare $19.58.
I'm gonna
Estimated drop off.
pick
9:38 a.m.
business
Driver is 7
comfort.
minutes away. Capacity. 4 peak. Business comfort. Back. Button.
Okay, so I select that. Don't worry, I won't go all the way to order a ride. But-
Pickup. 98 Maple Ave. Button.
And it recognizes where I am. And,
Sheet height controller. Button. Destination. 799 W. Boylston's Business Rides and Policy. Business comfort. Fare 19. Priority pickup. Exclusive for business. Payment profile. Business.
my
Double
payment
tap to switch.
profile,
Payment method. Map community services. Bill
Map.
confirm business comfort. Schedule a ride in advance. Button. Confirm business comfort.
and then I do convert business comfort, and it will order the ride, which I'm not gonna do. But, so, that's if I want business comfort.
App switcher.
I usually use
Active.
UberX.
App switcher. Calculator. Active. Closing calculator.
So,
Open.
now, the close thing,
Double tap to open.
I put the app switcher on, and it's 3-finger swipe up to close them, as opposed to 1-finger swipe up on your regular gestures. So I'm able to use the app switcher that way, but I just have to use a different set of gestures, 3 fingers instead of 1 swipe up.
Page 1 of 3. Adjustable.
So
Swipe up or down with 1 finger to adjust the value.
another thing I can do,
Messages. Double tap to open.
I just shut it up, I just make a peace sign and I tap it. Anytime I want to stop it, where it is, I just make the peace sign and tap. So, and then if I want to continue, well, I guess it's nothing else to read. So, if I want to read from where I am, I make 2-finger peace sign and swipe down.
Messages. Calendar. Friday, January 31st. Photos. Camera. Weather. iTunes Store.
See, it's just
Reminders.
jumping through.
Apps. No.
Then I stop with my 2-finger tap on notes. So let's say that's what I wanted to open, so I make 1-finger double tap to open notes.
What's new in notes?
And it's giving me an advertisement, because I don't use notes a lot, I actually use other features. I use voice memos mostly. So I'm gonna close notes, so I do my app switcher twice on the home button.
App switcher. Page 2 of 4. Math and notes. Type page 4 of 4. Home notes. Double tap. App switcher. Notes. App closing notes. Notes.
Closing my notes again.
Messages.
Okay,
Double tap to open.
all right, so, and, anybody have any questions so far? On how this works?
So all of this is like a mixture of like the first class about gestures, when we were talking about, you know, when you tap once, what response you'll get back. Tapping, holding down the button will give you a different response. When you turn on voiceover, like Dave has, you'll get an additional feature, a set of gestures that you'll use in order to navigate your device at that point. And some of them, as Dave was describing, using 2 fingers to scroll through what's on the page, using 2 fingers to stop again, and then using 2 fingers again to continue, using 3 to move between pages,
Yeah.
similar to like a 1-finger swipe for
Side to side?
yeah, from side to side.
Yeah.
So it's just a bit of an adjustment, but all the same in how the gestures are used.
So basically, you can run it on 12 gestures. So if I were reading a newspaper article, let's see if I can open news.
Calculate supervision plot. News.
So,
News. Apple News. January 31st. Heading.
all right, and I want to continuously read and then stop at an article. So I'll do 2-finger swipe down.
Apple News. January 31st. Heading. Try News Plus free. Button. Top stories. Heading. Link. CNN. Group to be pilot. Daughter of Indian immigrants among.
Okay, so there's an article on something having to do with plane crashes or pilots.
Back.
So I
Button.
just 1-finger double tap and it opens it. Then I can read it.
Back. Button. Suggest more or less. Button. CNN. Heading. Share. Button. More actions. Button. Image. A groom to be pilot. Daughter of Indian immigrants and figure skating champions are among DC air collision victims. Heading. Ala Elliser. Zena Basila. Samantha Waldenberg. Lauren Mascarenas. Dahlia Fatih. Lex Harvey.
Can you
Amanda.
slow that
And-
down? It's going really fast. I mean, how do you
Okay,
comprehend all
so,
of that?
no problem. So what happens is I practice by listening to the end of radio commercials.
Um,
No, I'm just kidding. You know how they give the legal disclaimers at the end and they speak too fast? Actually, what happens is we get used to a faster speed. This is actually just 1 notch above normal, so I'm gonna put it down to normal.
Yeah, you can adjust that.
Voices. Primary voice. Select
Maybe
sounds.
it's too
On.
much. You better-
Speaking rate.
So-
55%.
So I make a knob, that's just called the rotor, and I change it to speaking rate, it's at 55%, normal is at 50, so I'm gonna put it down to 50.
50%.
So that to me sounds slow, but to you it probably sounds okay. So, then the other important thing is I have to take it off of speaking rate so I don't accidentally change the speaking rate later on.
Sounds. Voices. Edit. Headings.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on headings, so that I won't mess anything up. So now let's play that again.
Ala Elliser. Zena Basila. Samantha Waldenberg.
How's that?
Lauren Mascarenas.
So there, so you can change your speaking rate constantly, and believe it or not, I was at 55%. I sort of leave it normal there because most of my voiceover trainees can handle a notch up while they're learning, and you want them to learn to pick up a little bit. There are some people who are blind who run this at 100%, and it sounds worse than the end of those radio commercials. It's kind of a funny story. My wife actually, who doesn't use voiceover, has become so she actually understands some of the stuff, just saying at the end of those commercials, because she's heard this device doing that.
News.
So anyway,
How long is the training program that you offer to?
so we train people until they're ready, until they've met whatever their goals are, and it varies person to person all the time. Some people learn very quickly, Some people learn voiceover gestures in one training session. Then they go back and practice, and then they come back, and then we get into various apps. And there are some special apps that I'll show you. So one app is called Seeing AI. Open Seeing AI. And of course, you can ask Siri to open anything, any app you have. So this app is called Seeing AI.
Channel, short text, adjustable.
And this is called short
Swipe
text.
up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
We have one of those brochures around. Okay, so short text. Thank you.
A ping. Sub-channel, short mass region. Heat the war, skillet over. See on Massachusetts Association for Blind and Visually Impaired. Services, Esther/Central Mass Region. Via requirements. Heat the oil, skillet over. During home vision rehabilitation occupational therapists.
Okay, so anyway,
777. N4, Baird.
okay,
China commercial. Technology, healthcare,
yes. So now I have to pull it away because it's dying to read something all the time. But that's called short text. So it'll just read whatever you point it at. So it's not ideal for documents. It's more ideal for reading what's on a soup can, what's on a box of cereal, what's up in your kitchen cabinet, that type of stuff. So that's what it does.
Is your phone different from other iPhones? I
No,
don't think-
this is just an iPhone SE3, which is
unregulous.
a low-end model. Why is it a low-end model? Because I don't stream anything. I can't see it. So I want a low-end model with a home button because it works more conveniently with VoiceOver. But you can work it without the home button. Just a little less difficulty with the home button. So it's a standard iPhone. So, and this-
Yeah, a lot of the new ones, they don't come with the home button anymore, that's
Yeah.
just the SE3.
Yeah.
But it's all the same, and that's not a specially manufactured iPhone, that's.
Yeah, it's just the cheap one. It's all- But the cheap one happens to have a home button, so that's why.
Yeah, they stopped making home buttons in the newer iPhones, but it's all the same features, it's just you using the swiping gestures instead of the pressing the home button. But other than that, like that, well, your iPhone has all the same features as has.
Yeah. The only thing, one of the things it does replace the home button with is on your power button. You can do the 1, 2, or 3 click on the power button, as long as you don't hold it too long. And it sort of replaces the home button. You can actually use that for Siri too, if you set it up that way in the settings. So here's another feature on Seeing AI.
Channel, short text, adjustable, document.
Okay, so now we're gonna do document. Oops,
Channel, product, adjustable.
I went one
Swipe
page.
up or down with one document.
There.
Bottom right corner not visible. Hold steady. Process, cancel, processing.
It makes the music.
Back, button.
Okay, so now what it's done is it's taken my document, and this could be anything, it could be an electric bill, it could be whatever. And if it was an electric bill, you probably wouldn't want to use document, but you probably would want to go to the lower left and just see how much you owe, right? And use short text. But,
Massachusetts Association for the Blind and Visual. 1. Sounds of Massachusetts Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
okay.
Massachusetts Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. 1. Services Worcester/Central Mass Region. Our in-home vision rehabilitation occupational therapists teach strategies.
So you see how that worked better? It's starting to really read the document, whereas before it was short text, it was picking up pieces of words, which is fine if you're just sort of trying to read if it says tomato soup on it. tomato soup can.
We've also got product here.
Yeah, so product mode,
Double tap to open. App switcher. Seeing AI. Back. Button. Hold steady.
nope,
Menu.
don't do it.
Processing.
It took a photo in our. Stop.
Alert. No. Home.
I'm gonna close it so
App
I can
switcher.
restart it.
Closing Seeing AI. Closing news. News.
Okay.
Messages.
Open Seeing AI.
Seeing AI. Channel. Short text. Adjust document product.
Okay, product. Do we have any UPC code? Oh, yeah. So, product,
Process. Cancel. Processing. At a glance block format weekly appointment book 8x47/8 black 2024 G20000.
there you go. So it identifies the product by the barcode, UPC code. So if you go in the supermarket, and they have the barcodes there on the little signs, that barcode also, you can go for more info. And it'll tell you the price, the ingredients, the this, the that. I don't know if it has some more info on this one.
Toolbar. Share. Button. At a glance block for toolbar. More info.
Oh, there it is.
Button.
So what else can we find out about our appointment book?
More info. Dim.
No, it says it's dim, so there isn't more info. Which isn't surprising because there's not much to an appointment book. But anyway,
App switcher. Seeing AI. Active.
all right, so
Close. Button. Menu. Channel. Product. Adjustable. Scene. Preview.
now we can do scene. I can take a photo of the scene.
Take picture. Button. Take pic processing.
It's gonna tell me what was in the scene. So if I want to know what's in the road,
A group of people sitting in chairs. Button.
okay,
Get more info.
get more info, I want to see what it says.
A group of people processing. Seeing AI. The image depicts a room with a tiled floor and a plain wall in the background. There are 2 rows of chairs, with the front row having 3 empty chairs. In the second row, 4 individuals are seated. On the left, an individual is wearing a black outfit with a yellow and black scarf, holding a yellow object, possibly a book or a notebook. Next to them, another person is dressed in black with a patterned scarf, holding a dark colored bag on their lap. To the right, a person in a light blue shirt is holding a piece of paper, and next to them, an individual in a dark top and light colored pants is holding several papers and a red and Seeing AI.
So you get the idea on the level of detail?
I was going this way for like the detail of everybody in the room.
It was just going around describing each one of you, what you were holding, what you had on, et cetera, et cetera. So that's,
Back, button, back.
comes in handy if you don't see well.
Close, button.
Is that
Menu,
app,
button.
Is that what?
is this app Seeing AI app available for free of charge, or is it you have to pay for it?
You just go in the App Store, it's free.
It's free.
Yeah. Seeing AI. Yeah. It's free on the App Store.
Channel, scene, preview.
So we did
adjustable,
scene.
Person.
We could do descriptions of person. Does anybody want to do that?
1 0 faces. 1 2 faces. 1 face 1 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 1 1.
It's confused. You're too far away.
Channel,
We'll do
person,
another.
adjustable currency.
Currency, okay, currency. Oh, I got it. So currency, you get your bills mixed up, you know? You don't want to give them a 50 when you plan to give them a 5.
$20.
There you go. So, and if you flip it over, it'll do that.
$20.
So the Treasury Department actually has an app called iNote, E-Y-E Note. iNote as an E-Y-E Note. supposedly, it won't recognize it if it's counterfeit on the Treasury app. But
Landscape.
since I haven't had any counterfeit money, I haven't had a chance
Menu.
to test that. But, yeah, I've heard somebody from a store use that though, and actually did have counterfeit show up.
Portrait. Channel. Currency. Adjust color. Pre-brown.
Yeah, and I'll do colors,
Black.
you know, in case you're looking through your closet.
Gray. Brown.
Is my shirt gray and
Brown
brown?
and orange.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brown. Handwriting.
It-
Preview.
It'll read handwriting.
Light.
Okay, light is, if you really have some, if you have total blindness, it's probably more applicable, but if you want to find out where the windows are, or, yeah, it's probably not too good here, it's too much light.
There's some lights in the ceiling, but it's pretty dark outside.
App switcher.
Yeah.
CAI.
So,
Messages.
but if you were in a more dimly lit room and you wanted to find out where the door was, for example, use the light indicator and it'll help you find the door. Because there'll be more light coming through the door, hopefully. Or if you want to find out where the windows are, same thing, if it's during the day. So that's an app that we find very handy. What time do we have right
Edit
now?
messages. Screen lock. 9:36 a.m.
Oh, good.
Screen lock.
Good timing. All right, so, any questions? There's lots more on the iPhone, but that gives you an idea of what it can do. Working with gestures, people don't have to be able to see the phone to run it. You can run everything on it. You all know about Siri, you can ask it anything. Hey Siri, what was the score of the Philadelphia Eagles game?
The Eagles defeated the Commanders in the NFC Championship by a score of 55-23 last Sunday.
Yeah, I already knew that because
9:37
but
a.m.
but that gives you an example. You can ask it any math formulas you want to do quickly, or if you want to figure out the gas mileage for your car or whatever. You can, let's see, what's the square root of 1,002?
The square root of 1002 is approximately 31.6543.
So if you're a high school, college student,
9:38 a.m.
high school student, and you want to cheat on your math test, there you go. You can ask Siri anything. Have you all used it for multiple features?
I tried to
Yes.
have her cook dinner, but she can't.
Cook dinner?
Yeah, she can't.
Yeah, so you just go set timer for 10 seconds.
10 seconds starting now.
Now, you're not putting something in the oven for 10 seconds, but I'm just trying to demonstrate this. You can set a timer, it goes off after 35 minutes at 3:50, and then you shut off your timer by hitting the home button in this case. So you can use a timer that way.
Double tap to open.
You can, there's lots of things you can do with Siri.
You can set calendar events.
Yeah, set your calendar. Hey Siri, read my text messages.
You have no new messages.
Okay, so I don't have anything new, but
Messages.
see if I got any emails.
Double tap.
Hey Siri, read my emails.
You have one unread email from David Dunham. Voicemail callback 50875.
It's
Right.
amazing.
So that's an email I sent to myself to remind me to call that person. So that's the kind of thing you can do. You can ask it to open apps. It won't close apps most of the time. Don't know why, but that's just the way it is. What else did people use Siri for? Just curious. Anybody have different ideas?
You can usually call people.
Yeah, call people, or you can say text to people. Now with VoiceOver, if I send a text to Lisa,
What would you like to say to Lisa?
Hello, just testing this for the group.
It says, hello, just testing this for the group. Send it.
Yes.
Done.
So you see with voiceover, it reads it back to you, as it assumes you can't read it on the screen. And then so you have a chance to say, no, I don't want to send it because it didn't pick up what I said right. You know, in case, and every once in a while that happens with a text. But you can do a voice text without voiceover, but with voiceover, it gives you the read back. There's walking GPS on the phone. Anybody ever use that? Probably didn't know that, so you could ask Siri. Walking directions to the Shrewsbury Police Department.
Getting walking directions to Shrewsbury Police Department.
Maps. My location. 98 Maple Ave, Shrewsbury. Map. Web Elma Circle. Monroe Street. Active route. 4 minutes. Suggested.
Okay, select that. And then it would give me directions when I start walking. It'll tell me, take a left, take a right, take a whatever. I know the Shrewsbury Police Department's right over there. Does it take 4 minutes from you to do
Messages.
But it is.
Double tap to open.
So you can do things like that with this. So what can you do with an iPad? Same exact operating system. So I'm going to do 3 clicks on the home button on this old iPad.
Voiceover on. Landscape. Home
Turn
button
my
to
volume
right.
up.
Voiceover off.
So it's the same operating system. This is a cool case I have where I can flip that around. And did I turn voiceover on?
Voiceover on. Text
There we
field
go.
is edit landscape. Top hit heading. Tips. Teams. iTunes U.
Yeah, so now I'm just going through my apps, but I'm using the same voiceover operating system on the iPad. So, and then of course with the iPad, if you want to make it portable, you can set it up with a keyboard, which I flip this around. So you can set yourself up with your mini laptop if you want to do it this way, as opposed to carrying around a bag with a big laptop in it, like I have over there. This is just a piece of cardboard to block the touch sensor pad there. Because I don't want to use the touch pad on an iPad where I can swipe on the screen with VoiceOver. So same way, many of the same apps. I have one trainee who had a whole career programming in places like Digital Equipment Corporation and such. And I think he's gone totally blind, but I'm teaching him how to program with his iPad using Python. So you can do things like that on an iPad. Of course, you have word processing like you would on a regular computer. You can read spreadsheets with VoiceOver. Let me open a spreadsheet here real quick.
Doc. Mail. Safari. Mail. Mail. Mailboxes. Backbot messages. Dave Dunham. USSW list. Select message content.
So-
David J. P. Spencer. Mobile. Email. Dunham 70s. Project. Toolbar. Move. Button. More actions. Message content. Project status Dunham. 0.
So this is a spreadsheet.
Message content. Toolbar. More project status
So-
Dunham. 0. 1. 1. 0. Landscape.
So this is just a spreadsheet on here,
Portrait.
which, by the way, you're not going to be able to read with your eyes either. It's so tiny. But you can read it with VoiceOver.
John Bobcat Boston. Row 9. Column 1.
Just a solar energy customer, right? So
Steve Arsenal. Column 2.
swipe to the right, you get the person's name.
978
Phone number.
66 Stevia at
And
bobcatboston.com.
email.
Colon 4. Link.
So anyway, so you can read spreadsheets that way. If I want to go to a different one, I drag down the column.
Atlas Palette 2000 Atlantic Toyota 2025 John Biggio GM
Yeah.
781
There you go.
599.
This is just a contact list, but it's a spreadsheet that I can,
3 home doc mail
that I can conveniently read on the iPhone. I
double
can,
tap to open.
I can also read it on the iPad. I can also read it on the Apple Watch. I'm going to turn that one on. So-
Settings 2 new items.
And what does the Apple Watch work with? It works with VoiceOver. Turn it on. I left it off because it can be aggravating trying to speak while we're running it. And, yeah, so the Apple Watch has a dome on the bottom. How many people have a watch or a Fitbit? Anybody? Which one?
Apple Watch.
You have the Apple Watch, so do you use the biometrics on it?
No, I use Siri on it to turn on, when I'm walking, turn on this mileage.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I don't understand.
There you go. So there's biometrics on there too, so you can get your heart rate. It'll if you set it up, it'll do an electrocardiogram. So I have a few trainees that were prescribed an Apple Watch by their doctor. It was paid for by the whatever Medicare Advantage plan they were on. And part of the reason is they had a heart condition. And the doctor asked them to wear the Apple Watch overnight so that they'll get an alarm if they have an AFib.
Oh,
So it's interesting applications. But in any case, this won't turn on, which I apologize for. But the way it works is similar gestures to the iPhone. I'm sorry, I can't present it to you. Let's try again.
Is that just for demonstration purposes? Now, why would someone need all those 3 devices? What would be the purpose? It sounds like it would be really confusing.
Well, most people are gonna get by with just an iPhone for all their purposes. If they're still working and they wanna do some work, if they have a if they're at what we call low vision, which is sufficient vision where you can zoom in on the iPad, for example, then you want an iPad because you get the bigger screen and you've got some eyesight to use. But you can't carry this around like you can a phone. Now, if you're satisfied with it, if you like the Apple Watch will do everything that's on the phone pretty much, except for some of the camera functions. It has a camera. It just doesn't work so well though when you try to angle your arm and try to use Seeing AI or something like that. It doesn't work so well. So overall, the first thing you want to look at is getting an iPhone. The Apple Watch, you can buy these that run independent of the iPhone, but the cheaper ones, which are $350, say, or less, run with the iPhone. In other words, it's running through the iPhone as
Messages.
it's using the iPhone's cellular data or Wi-Fi to operate the watch, but it's running through the phone on Bluetooth.
Calculator.
I don't know why it's
Double tap to open.
That's not on, is it?
no.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
probably not charged.
Yeah, it's probably not charged. My apologies. All right, but you do similar, if you want to swipe down the list, you swipe to the right, just like on the phone. if you want, they have a little, the Siri button, the home button, is a big round button on the right side. You can hit that, and it works essentially the same way as the phone does. You can set it so it turns voiceover on and off with 3 clicks, or it goes to the app switch with 2 clicks, or it goes to the home screen with 1 click. You can choose different style home screens on the watch. There's one with a list as opposed to a grid. I use the list because it's easier. But by and large, there's a lot of features with voiceover work the same way as on the iPhone. The 3-finger swipe up, they don't have that. They do have a different feature on the app switcher where you can do it with 1 finger. For obvious reasons, you can't fit 3 fingers on your watch face.
To charge the watch, do you have the same connections as the iPhone? Are they interchangeable, and they both have different chargers? How do you charge the watch?
The charging block is the same. Go into my bag over here.
It's not sure.
Like the USB-C versus
It's USB-C, but
the.
it's got a little magnetic charging pad as opposed to on the iPhone where you actually just plug it into the slot. So this is a magnetic pad that you
For
put
the
the
watch?
watch, and I probably should charge it up.
Huh.
But
So they are different.
so you just put it on that magnetic pad, and you plug the other end in. It's still got the same kind of charging block.
Yep.
This end of the business is the same, but this end, to charge your watch, you need to put it on one of these magnetic pads.
But the point is,
The
you
other
need a
thing,
different charger for the watch and for the phone. They're not interchangeable. You can't use the same charger for the phone that you use for the watch.
just the block part is interchangeable.
With the charging, you have
The
the
charging block that goes into the wall, but this cord is different. It's
Right.
different, yeah. Yeah. So, so this, actually, when they sell you the watch, they don't give you a charging block, because they assume you already have one
Right.
for your Apple phone. So, yeah, it comes in a little bag. So, well, if we have a little time, we can plug it in. Is there an outlet around here?
Yeah,
Well, you're talking about something else.
Actually, right behind the table, under the window, so.
and then,
Just trying to make sure.
we have one more thing right before the end of class, so, once you're all set, Dave,
Sure.
yeah, I'll go in, but we got one little surprise at the end of class first.
Screen lock.
Okay, it looks like we're getting close to the end anyway, yeah.
9, voiceover off.
All right, so sorry I couldn't run the watch today. Yeah, you want to come up?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Dave. That was a great demonstration. And for all of you, Mass Association of the Blind and Visually Impaired, they're a great resource. I know many of you guys won't need it in the foreseeable future, but you may run into people who would need the services, and you see how well it can be used. So definitely keep them in mind because it's really helpful stuff. You can see, like, you can navigate a phone pretty much like you have sight with the projector that Dave showed. Thank you guys so much for coming to these classes. We will be back with a new curriculum, so look out for the newsletter. Tell your friends to come. You never know what's gonna happen.